I looked at the combination between the web and the universe and looked at similarities between the two. The reason I did that is because I think the universe is super exciting. It's super exciting for everyone, and so is the web. And there are a lot of similarities between the two. Like I was saying, distant galaxies, distant websites, the speed of light, that's how fast data can travel along our pipes back and forth. And so it ended up being a story that just kind of fit nicely together, and also, hopefully, was kind of interesting. What can we learn from the universe? Well, I always think that we always mimic nature. So whenever we see something good in nature, it's been around for a lot longer than us, then we will mimic that in the things that we design. And I think if we look to the universe and the sparseness of it, we can learn how we can apply different laws and different ways of looking at things to the websites. Like entropy, for example. Entropy always increases over time, which means things break down to their smaller constituent parts. And that's kind of what we're doing between these large websites, breaking them down into tablets, mobiles, and now smartwatches. I think so. Responsive design is just like a way of executing the solution. So it's fluid grids, flexible media, media queries to allow us to sort of take these objects and these constituent parts and put them in a order and an interface that suits the user's device, whatever they're using. I think taking it further, we can look at just enhancing the way that all works. So how do we actually design for that? So we talked about design systems, designing modularly, breaking them down into individual bits, using things like pattern lab and atomic design, and building structures, so design systems rather than websites themselves. And then further from that, we can just look at how we can improve the performance across the board. The biggest complaint that people have about responsive design is that it's just not fast enough for mobile devices, whereas that doesn't need to be the case. You can build fast interfaces and fast mobile sites with responsive design. I think having an understanding, so the skills of designers and developers are always going to be different. Wonderful thing about the conference is I've met a load of developers who have decided to come along to a UX conference so they can understand the front end. I was concerned about the talk being a little bit back-end focused and not designy, but I think it's important that designers and UX practitioners understand the back-end side of things, how the web works, how interfaces work, why things load in the way they do, so they can design better systems, and eventually, at the end of the day, users have a better experience. So the way the talk was wrapped up is we looked at Neptune and how that was discovered. And the scientists at the time used equations to predict within a degree where Neptune was in the sky based on its effects on Uranus. Now, the universe has a set of laws that cannot be changed, so we can do that, and we can predict things very accurately in the universe. We make up the laws of our web universe. So as we change those laws, we can no longer predict what's going to come in the future. So the key thing is although things will change over time, we need to build it in a way today that will always be future friendly, just like this first web page that Tim Berners-Lee built. Still accessible on all devices, on all phones, and when the watch gets a browser, you'll be able to view it there as well.